Alrighty guys, how's it going? Hey Blue, how you doing, man? Sent you your card pack already. That should be there. Really quick. We are gonna be jumping into some news and try to get through our backlog of trailers here. We got a ton as usual. And yeah, and then later on we have a raid with some of our favorite people. So let's see here. Let's start off with, where's my thingy? There we go. First news story is an interesting one that we're kind of aware of. Maybe you're aware of it if you have a Nintendo Switch. There's not really many guidelines on the Nintendo Switch store, which is why a ton of really bad fake games always end up on there. And a perfect example is this one. The creative director of the indie hit Unpacking, Ren Breyer, has called out Nintendo due to the prominence of copycat games on the Switch eShop. Breyer shared on Blue Sky post, which I really got to make a Blue Sky. Everyone's on Blue Sky now. I really need to do one. With a series of games titled Unpacking on the eStore, clearly inspired by Witchbeam's award-winning game and sharing the same trademark name. It's been over 2 weeks and these are still on the eShop, wrote Breyer. Nintendo hasn't responded to any of our reports of these egregious scams, which are using our trademark game name and purposely tricking Nintendo customers into buying cheap fakes. This isn't the first time the Unpacking developer faced this type of scam. Back in 2022, another Unpacking imitator was removed from the iOS and Gameplay store after topping their most downloaded charts. Yeah, it's a common thing. Whenever there's like a weird little indie hit or something like that, there's always like these weird copycat game names that are not really proper games. That's a common thing, especially on Nintendo eStore. They have so many of those like trash games, I call them, on there. It's crazy. Moving on to our next story though. We have good news. Tales of Berseria, out of the Tales games that I have played, personally my favorite, has surpassed 2.5 million units sold. That's pretty awesome. Pretty awesome. Good for them. Honestly, my favorite one so far. I haven't played all of them, but out of the ones I've played, that one's the best one in my opinion. Following that news, we have more crazy news from Marvel Rivals. Apparently has announced that they have reached 20 million players, which is nuts, but not really surprising, but nuts. Another reason why I'm trying to stay away from that game, because if I do, I will just get sucked in. I just know it. And I don't got time for that. Not right now. So, yeah. Following that one, we have Jeff Keighley apparently posted on X and Twitter that the 2024 Steam Award, I'm sorry. I think I skipped a thing here. It's okay. 2024 Game Awards hit a classic 100 hit. I'm sorry. I'm mixing up two stories here. Okay, the 2024 Game Awards hit a historical 154 million views, making it the 10th anniversary, its most watched show to date. So, congratulations to Keighley there. I'm sure he made barrels and wheelbarrows full of money on that day. So, good for him. Good for him. Let's see. I forgot to bookmark that one. But the 2024 Steam Awards nominees are up for voting as of December 19th. Curious to see who will be winning those. I believe that will be released in the following week. And yeah, so get your votes in. Following that news, we have the Justice Department announced today that the two directors of Epic Games Inc., who had been appointed by Tencent Holdings, resigned from Epic Board after the Antitrust Division expressed concerns that their positions on both Epic and Tencent boards violated Section 8 of the Clayton Act. Tencent owns a minority interest in Epic. The interlock was created because Tencent also is the parent company of a gaming competitor to Epic, Riot Games Incorporated. Tencent also decided to amend its shareholder agreement with Epic to relinquish its unilateral rights to appoint directors or observers to the Epic board of the future in the future. Section 8, which Congress made a perceived violation on the antitrust laws, prohibit directors and officers from serving simultaneously on the boards of competitors subject to limited exceptions. So essentially, you can't have two. How do I explain this? If you guys know anything about corporate business, essentially board members are chosen through the shareholders. Usually, majority stakeholders are usually the ones who represent on the board, but you can have minority ones as well. There usually is guidelines that like have to have 5% of the company or something like that. Tencent had, essentially with the stories, if you're not understanding it, Tencent had board members on both Riot and on Epic game boards, which they're direct competitors, and that violates the Clayton Act. So essentially they had to amend their thing that even their minority holders in Epic, they basically gave up their rights to decision making in Epic, and also had to revoke the people that were on the board there to basically keep up with laws. Tencent is the mother company of PUBG, right? Tencent has their hands in a lot of things, so that might be true. I'm not 100% sure. But Tencent has their hands in many, many companies, including Ubisoft, which they're currently fighting with at the moment because of they want more control over Ubisoft than they currently have. Now, I don't think that constitutes in the same. I would think that would technically violate the laws. Well, no, Ubisoft technically is French law, so it's different, and so they're probably safe there. But yeah, they're trying to fight with the Guillemot brothers for control on that one. But Tencent has their hands in like everyone's pocket. It's a little crazy how much they tend to have a little bit of shares in everyone's thing. They're like the biggest company out there. I see why me I what? I'm really bad with that. Those anagrams. I'm really bad with abbreviations, Blue. How are you doing, Neuro? Feeling any better? I'm doing good. I'm doing fine. Not sick anymore, that's for sure. Doing fine. Following that news, we have. I scrolled a little too hard. We have some Sega of America. Is being taken to court by Johnny Guali. I don't know if I said that right. A musician from the rock and band Crush 40. The band is best known for creating the Sonic Adventure 2 theme, Live and Learn. And he alleges Sega is in breach of contract over the iconic song. He further accuses the publisher of exhibiting and licensing the song to over 24 games, shows, and live performances without his knowledge. Game-wise, Live and Learn has been featured in Smash Bros. Brawl, Nintendo 3DS, and Wii U versions of Smash Bros. 4, and Yakuza 4 and 5. Its inclusion in non-Sonic Adventure 2 titles is as recent as 2021's Monster Hunter Rise from Capcom. The lawsuit acknowledges that Live and Learn may be owned by the two parties. Should that be the case, it argues that Sega's ownership would be expressly limited to the lyrics themselves. Despite that, in the letter from a separate Sega lawyer who called the song a joint work in April, Gioli claims Sega refuses to name him an owner or give him 50% of the song's profits he is entitled to. So, ironically, I think they're kind of screwed on this one. Because, as it says here in the article, a Sega lawyer, okay, Sega lawyer literally said a joint work in April. So, like, a Sega lawyer specifically said that it's not solely owned by It basically said that's not solely owned by Sega. So like I think I think that one's gonna be okay. And it's a little messed up that Sega's been like not taking care of their people like that. It's a little messed up in my opinion. Sega's not a small company in any way. In case you missed it. Oh, that's what that means. Interesting. How you feeling, Blue? You feeling better? I know you were sick like a dog for a while. Hope you're doing okay. Yeah. Hopefully he gets his monies as it is well deserved. It's not cool when people kinda take advantage of your stuff. See, this is the problem when I do things really late at night. I'm just fuck. Oh, nice. This is what happens when I do things super late at night. I forget to bookmark certain things, and I see I missed another one. I'm gonna have to do this without the bookmark, which is okay. But Kadakawa Corporation and Sony Group Corporation signed a strategic capital and business alliance agreement, agreeing to conduct a third-party allotment by Kadakawa to Sony on January 7th, 2025, with Sony acquiring 12,054,100 shares of new Kadakawa shares for approximately 50 billion yen. With the acquisition of the new shares, Sony will become Kadakawa's largest shareholders, holding approximately 10% of its shares, including the shares Sony previously acquired in February 2021. The two companies plan to discuss specific initiatives for collaboration, such as initiatives to adopt Kadakawa's IP into live-action films, TV dramas globally, co-produce anime works, expand global distribution of Kadakawa's anime works through the Sony Group, further expanding publishing of Kadakawa games, and developing human resources to promote and expand virtual production. I'm not against this. Okay. Some time ago, I'd say about the last 2 weeks, there have been talks about Sony buying the Kadakawa Corporation. If you guys don't know this, for us in gaming, not only does Kadakawa do a lot of things besides just gaming, they do like a lot of anime and stuff like that. But in general, in the gaming sphere, they are the parent company to the company that owns FromSoft, if you guys did not know that. So it's a little scary because for me personally, Sony has a terrible habit of making everything they own exclusive, right? And that is the last thing I want, is the next Elden Ring, whatever comes out of FromSoft, or Armored Core, to be a Sony exclusive. I would really hate that. I like FromSoft games, and I do not have PlayStation. So that was my biggest fear with these talks. It seems they've settled a little bit on a middle ground where Sony didn't go all the way in. Kadakawa is still getting lots of money from them and a lot of help, actually, which is great. And access to their resources, which is even better. And still producing their own stuff the way that they want to do it. So, good for them. So, it seems like what this partnership is going to mostly do is give Kadakawa some of Sony's resources, which Sony is massive, much bigger than Kadakawa, in terms of being able to distribute their stuff, anime and video game stuff. So, cool, great. I want more stuff like that because I do not like exclusives, and I really hope no exclusives come out of this. There shouldn't be. This is when do you have a mustache? On Sundays I have a mustache, and then it goes away. Following that news, we have some interesting news from Reggie. If you guys remember Reggie, ex-Nintendo president Reggie Fils-Aime, if I might have butchered his name, I apologize, posted a graph on X Twitter stating that the Game Awards is the biggest global entertainment event of our time. Now shockingly bigger than even the Super Bowl. That is a hell of an achievement, honestly. Super Bowl has been one of the biggest events on the globe, and the Game Awards has topped it. So, congratulations to Keeley on making that what it is, and That's a victory, in my opinion, for all of gaming. That's a huge victory for all of gaming. So, cool. Got an lurking game. You do you, Blue. You do you. Make sure you drink a little bit of water in between, though, so you don't get sick. Also, we have in the news, Ultimate Ninja Storm series has now sold over 30 million copies worldwide, which brings to question, is Naruto bigger than Dragon Ball and One Piece? I'm now curious. Like, that's an insane amount of copies from a Naruto game. That's crazy. Next up, we have Octopath Traveler, which I can translate this so you guys can see it to English. Octopath Traveler has sold over 5 million copies worldwide. Congratulations to that indie dev. It is always a huge achievement seeing numbers like that, big fat numbers like that. So cool. Can't wait to see what else they come out with in the future. Back to Sega, though, for this news story, which is a little sad in my opinion. Sega is considering launching its own Netflix-like subscription service for video games, a move which would accelerate gaming transitions towards streaming. Sega president Suji Utsumi told the BBC such subscription products were very interesting, and his firm was evaluating some opportunities. We're thinking something and discussing something we cannot disclose right now, he said. This is kind of sucks because this is essentially what Ubisoft is doing. This is essentially what EA is doing, and Xbox and PlayStation Plus. Essentially, if we didn't have enough subscriptions to deal with already, they essentially are considering in doing a Sega streaming subscription thing. I don't know what they would call it. Sega Plus. I don't know, but I'm not cool with that. That would really, really suck, and I hope that they don't do that. Really, really hope they don't do that. And then for our last bit of news here, a little sad to hear, to be honest. Although not completely surprised by it. Destiny 2's player count has reached an all-time low, with the matchmaking becoming increasingly difficult for raids, dungeons, and other activities. Bungie's flagship game has been in steady decline in its player base over the past months. The release of episode Revenant already saw the lowest day one population, and it keeps getting worse due to bugs, glitches, and content. With fewer players logging in, finding Fireteam for activities like raids and dungeons has become a struggle. Matchmaking queues are taking longer than ever, and even tools like the in-game Fireteam Finder and Discord LFG servers aren't helping much. Many posts in LFG now demand experienced players only, shutting out those who are new or unfamiliar with the game. It's a little sad, in my opinion, and I definitely want to say for all those out there, like, Cat's Meow Tavern is always happy to take in more members. So yeah, don't shy away. It is not surprising as their seasons and this new episode crap that they decided to do didn't really pan out well. It's been a lot of repeat content, not the most interesting of it, and yeah, that's just been not great. And then it's even sadder because, like, their DLC, The Final Shape, was actually one of their best DLCs to date. So it's a damn shame that they just are not hitting it with the seasons. Hopefully next expansion, when they release that, is also really good, and hopefully the seasons that they produce there are a bit better. We'll see how it goes, but it is not looking good. I've never had this thought before because Destiny's always been one of the strongest live service games ever. There's a chance that Destiny will maybe shut down eventually. I still think it'll take another year or two. I don't see it shutting down anytime soon. But yeah, it's a scary possibility now. It could happen, which sucks because it's one of my main games. Sad, but we'll find something else to play. Not the end of the world. That being said, that covers the news, and we're gonna go ahead and jump into some trailers. So, our first trailer is a game called, which was in the Game Awards. We're finally at Game Award trailers, by the way. A game called Ninja Gaiden Ragebound. Let's check it out.
お前の力はこの程度か。まだまだ。
Alright. Next trailer. Doing some things here on the side at the same time. Gotta fix my bot here. Is another Game Award game.
On the floor.
This is Slay the Spire 2.
Where lies a tome covered in blood, titled Top Ways to Conquer the Spire. You find this manuscript highly suspicious because it's covered in blood. You read the book, covering your hands in blood.
Next trailer. I really do need to check out that Slay the Spire game one day. I didn't get super hyped about it because, like, never since I ever played much, so yeah. Our next game is a game called Midnight Murder Club. Here we go.
Welcome to the Midnight Murder Club. One flashlight, one gun. Use your senses and become the shadows.
Let's go. Stay quiet.
Okay. Do you know where we're going?
Towards those. Come on.
Hello?
Oh, hello. Please don't shoot. No, 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 no! Oh! You killed the piano! Oh, no!
Came in from behind. Double kills?
Oh, no! What? Did you get him? Oh, there's one more. Yeah!
Come out here.
Join the club and die trying.
PlayStation.
All right. Next game is a game that reminded me a lot of Dishonored. So, yeah, here we go. This is a game called Thick as Thieves. Enjoy.
Another night on the town. Let's see what Razzo has for me.
Nice of you to turn up.
Oh, the McEwen
What's up,
estate.
Boris? How you
This one's
doing?
always fun.
You're not the only one who thinks so.
Oh,
Best
a
to
gift
stay
sub to the
nice and
channel.
quiet. But keep your
As we
wits
did
about
hit
you.
our big goal last
You
stream.
never know what's around the corner.
So, congratulations, for your first event start today. That does not make sense.
Things could go many different ways. Because like I say, it's every feat themselves.
Alrighty. Next trailer is a game called Kiora. Reminded me of Terraria. I never sent that message out. Reminds me a lot of Terraria. Just a little bit prettier, I think. Okay, next trailer is a game that surprised me probably the most out of the Game Awards. Here is a game called Rematch. Yeah, this is made by the people who made Seafood, which I found kind of interesting. What's up, Chad? How you doing? When do you announce the event? Usually a week before.
Long I've been waiting for this. I'm about to
I
make
do
a
gotta
name
make
for
the
myself.
art
Yeah.
stuff,
I don't
which
think you guys
reminds
walk
me,
away.
send me
Just make sure we'll know what
your
happened here today.
send me your thing that you want me to use for your channel. Yeah, send me the art thing that you want to use for your channel. Alrighty. Next trailer is a game called Solastus 2, which I never played the first one, but kind of made me really interested after seeing this.
How dare you come alone, Shadwin? For many years you've sent waves of stone soldiers we've decimated. What can you achieve with your solitude that thousands couldn't?
Not thousands.
Millions!
No problem. As I said before, like, we hit our big goal. You were the first person I saw that didn't have one, so as we do on this channel, we gave it out. Next trailer is probably now my most anticipated game till this game comes out, and that is Witcher 4.
Dearest daughter, I've watched ye grow from a devilishly curious child into a remarkably young lass with much grace, wisdom, and kindness. Take the easy times what shape us, nay. 'Tis how we rise to face the hard times what does that for us. Even heart of gold. You've the spirit to overcome adversities aplenty. Darling. Sweeten. Today's the day. Ye fill out your destiny.
Forgive me, daughter. 'Twere my only choice.
I shall be the bringer of salvation.
A witcher? Witcher! Whose kind did ye take? Nay, you can't. 'Tis tradition. Chosen she is, by the gods.
No! You chose her.
Yeah, I didn't notice that before. She does have Witcher eyes. Which is weird, because when did she do Trials of the Grass?
and fair.
Back to the village. Go, now.
Nay! I must save them! Save the village!
Save yourself! Run! To shelter! To your father! Run!
I have many questions because of this trailer, but I'm totally digging it.
She went to go to the woods. The chosen one. His tradition.
Oh no, no, no.
It's all we wanted. For her to go to the woods. To go to the gods.
Gods? There are no gods here. There are only monsters.
That's awesome. What's up, Shenron? How you doing? Oh, I'm excited for that game. Super excited for that game. Many questions I have, but still excited for that game. Next up, we have Elden Ring Night Rain. Tired. Had a long day, huh? That's not good. Your week's only beginning tomorrow. Although, technically, it's probably your winter break, considering it's Christmas week. Yeah, so I've got more information on this because, like, it doesn't really explain it well. But what you guys are seeing is it's kind of like a three-person BR, but not really a BR. Basically, you and two other friends, I want to say. So a party of three are basically doing like a boss rush. You go, you kill a boss. After you kill the boss, you get to run around the world basically farming items and killing enemies and getting stronger for the next boss. And as that's happening, there's like a circle that's slowly closing in around you, as you guys saw with the weird misty fire thing, that eventually closes enough and forces you into a boss fight. That's essentially what's going on. Hi, welcome back, Blue. Okay, bye.
Tragedy must be averted. And for that, I need your help.
The interesting thing about this is that they're using bosses from not just the Elden Ring, but from the Dark Souls series as well. You will be seeing bosses from there as well. The Nameless King. Yeah, Nameless King is in this.
Little pillager.
And the other bosses as well.
Backing the lands of gold. I will swat away any and all who dare approach.
No, you're right, I didn't deceive you. Like I said, they're using bosses from pretty much all of the Souls games and other Ring games.
Band together and prepare to claim.
And it's you and two other friends basically doing this thing.
The life of the Night Lord.
It's basically a roguelike. It's not a Souls game at all. It's just a roguelike in the Souls universe, I guess you could say. It's an interesting concept, for sure. Next up, is another game that I need to play eventually. I believe it's on my wheel. Here is the Outer Worlds 2. Really need to play that first one eventually.
From the studio that brought you
By
Star
Nurbothecat
Wars
later.
Knights
Wait,
of the Old Republic,
Why is
Part
everyone leaving?
2. Neverwinter
The
Nights, Part 2. And Fallout 3, Part 2. New Vegas. Comes a completely original Part 2. And like all good sequels, we've included everything that should have been in the first game. More action. More weapons. And more graphics. Get ready for an adventure that took 3 times longer to make, but will almost certainly be 2 times bigger.
Baby, 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 ain't seen nothing yet.
This guy's gonna get me copyright strike.
In 2025,
That's pretty badass. Throw your grenade and shoot it.
Welcome back to the future. Try not to break it again. The Outer Worlds 2.
I'm not interested in hiring any more idiots. I'm looking for people of tact and vision and perspicacity.
Okay. Next up is a game. You ready for this? It's a game. It's a game called, which I'm actually really interested in doing this. Maybe me and Fader will do this since we seem to do these quite often. Here is Split Fiction. Two-player co-op game with like split screen and so on. Kind of made by the same people who did the other game that me and Fader played, which was It Takes Two.
We sure cause a lot of explosions.
Yeah, maybe me and Fader will do this one too one day.
Okay, you better get ready, because I'm about to show you Hazelight's next co-op adventure called Split Fiction. And let me tell you this, get ready for a ride. You play as Mio and Zoe, two aspiring writers that hopes to get published by a new tech company that can simulate their stories to life.
I can't do this.
Please calm down. It's time. You can't shut it. No!
Accidentally, they end up in the same simulation.
What are you doing in my story? Something bad is going on here.
And there, they find out that their stories are about to get stolen.
No one escapes my simulation.
And in order to save them, they have to escape back to reality through the very worlds that they created.
Hands above your heads.
But the thing is, they're strangers, and Miu writes sci-fi, while Zoe writes fantasy. So you will, for every level in the game, jump between a sci-fi world and a fantasy world. We at Hazelight love variation, and you'll have a unique mechanic for every level. Let me give you some examples. In this level, you start out by finding dragon eggs that hatch.
Hey, stop licking.
And then, they become a little bit bigger dragons with new abilities. But in the end, they grow up to be full-ass dragons. And now, you can fly around and kick ass. In another level, you play these ball droids that can magnetize and shift to different forms. And then, the droids become your exosuits. And you can now attack and hack different objects. Here's another one. You play as pigs, and they later become... Anyway, let's not talk about that level for now. And as always, with the Friends Pass, you only need to buy one copy of the game to play
Become
with
a
your
wiener.
friend online. That's what Hazelight is about. No loot boxes, no microtransactions, and no bullshit. You just get the game.
You have unpaid parking tickets. Time to die.
Excuse me? Run!
That's great. That is fantastic. Next up, we have the game that is called Killing Floor 3.
It appears Moorcroft's little project is as real as they say.
Let's start the party.
Ooh, get wrecked. March, closed beta. Cool. Next up, we have a game that has been out for a while. It's a huge sensation and basically has another DLC coming its way. Here is Dave the Diver in the jungle. Oh, go open the door of this place.
I watch people running around 100 miles an hour, trying to keep up with the Joneses on a quest for power. Gotta have the fancy cars and the fancy clothes and the diamond rings.
Alrighty. Next up is a game called Black Frost: The Long Dark 2. I kind of want to play the first one, especially now it's like complete. They were doing an episodic thing there, and I believe all the episodes are out. Live together, die alone. That is dark. Next up, which will probably be our last trailer for today because it's about that time that I switch over, is a game that I kind of want. Man, there's so many games I want to check out, especially because they're free to play. But here's one of them. This is a game called Steel Hunters.
Remember this day, Hunter. We were built for victory. We are humanity's last chance.
I've seen a couple people playing this. It's kind of like an extraction battle arena game.
Prepare to deploy.
With duos. So teams of 2 and I believe 5 teams in one area.
Let's get you home.
We were born to do this. To hunt and fight for freedom.
You will suffer my strength before you even see me.
I am the apocalypse!
They got me good. Hang on. I don't leave my partners behind. Revive it now. Let me repay the favor.
Consider your death part of the plan. This isn't over.
You will face impossible odds. Remember, you're an emblem of hope. Unleash the hunter within.
Yeah, kind of cool. Looks like today's the last day of the test. So, well, guess I won't get to check that out till that goes fully released. And yeah, I think that will do it for today's trailer and news 10. How many more do we still have? I still have so many trailers. I'm not even close to halfway. But that's fine. That's perfectly fine. Alright, we will be now switching over to El Destiny with the friends. And we're going to do something new today. We're going to do